Alright, now let's go ahead and create this mapping profile here, and that's called movie mapping profile. And what I'm going to do here is, let's say, movie mapping profile, and sorry, and now here this needs to inject from profile, which is coming from automapper itself, and let's have this constructor in place wherein we'll be doing this create map, and via which we'll be doing this mapping itself. So movie needs to be mapped with this movie response itself, and let's do reverse map as well, and create map for the case of movie, because it is getting mapped with this create movie command as well, right? So we have seen this into create movie command handler. So now let's do reverse map again here. Now we are done with that. One more extension which is I'm going to need here is this movie mapper, because this is going to be a static case which wherein I'll be getting into the props of all this particular entity in one shot, and do in the mapping in one shot, rather than doing for each for this particular mapper itself. Let's say create map for each props. So let's add this extension, and let's call this movie mapper itself, and let's say this movie mapper, and this is going to be an implementation of simply of lazy mapper itself. So what I'm going to just do here is I'll just drop this extension here just to save a little time here, and that's it. Now let's import the missing references. So what it is doing here is basically a lazy implementation of that. What means, like, let's get rid of you know and now what I'm going to have is, like, what it is doing is basically it's checking whatever is the public method or is of type disassembly, right? So in that case, this is just adding this moving mapping profile, right? And this is making this props mappable that way itself, and based on this property itself, it is creating map here. So what's happened basically, let's say you have entities, let's say, and it has tons of properties inside, and rather than doing for each and every property, what you can simply do, right, it's create this extension which is going to check for all the public property which is there in that particular entity. If it is there, right, so it will allow this to automatically map this via this lazy mapper itself, and that's the extension which we are going to use here. Now let's go ahead and do this import missing reference, and now this is fine. So in the next clip, what we are going to do is basically going to create that query and query handler itself. So let's do that next.